Here we are at the pier at Folly Beach, South Carolina. It's about 7 in the morning. Sunrise just happened. I'm going to take you up to the second story of the diamond platform. Take a look back. Sunrise on the Atlantic Ocean, South Carolina. Still on the pier at Folly Beach. All the pigeons are hanging out along the railing here, drying themselves. Hey pigeons. Hey pigeons. Ooh. They're like, you asshole. Looking back where I just was. There's Ann down there. Are you going on a
I'm going on a mountain tour.
I like to get close, see if people are paying attention. Now, the house on our immediate left-hand side was the cousin to George Washington right there, William Washington. Oldest house on the Battery, built in the mid-1700s. The house next to it, 1891. See that tall chimney on the back part? That leads to a large fireplace where they heat up rocks and pick them up with a metal tong and then drop them into the pool to keep the pool warm year long.
Oh.
This house is second only to the Biltmore in North Carolina for an indoor heated swimming pool.
Oh, wow. Why is it called the Battery?
This street was at one point a defensive wall called the Battery Wall, designed by a man named Patrick Ramsey. It was actually called Battery Ramsey. When the wall came down, it was the first one to have a wall when you got ports in the harbor, because they're not going to get past the port. They put in a street and called it South Battery Street. Charlestonians, very simplistic when it came to naming streets. They picked someone's house or someone who lived there or a building that was on it. And that's what they named it. Market's at the market, King Street's the King's Highway, Meeting Street's the Meeting House. And the Battery Streets were the defensive walls of the city. Another town in America has that similar configuration, except they call it Wall Street in that town, but they do have a Battery Park. We do not. And that's the same reason. Hello, team! Out in the middle of the harbor, you can see chocolate cake with a candle on top. That is Fort Sumter. And it's a good 3 miles away from us right now. An important distance. 1860-61, no cannon could reach 3 miles, not even inaccurate. So when people see paintings of the battle at Fort Sumter and they see downtown Charleston, these houses, and they see people on the porches and piazzas, they go, there's no way that really happened. And the truth is, it really did happen. With no actual harm to be had from the firing, they were out on the porches and piazzas with a glass of sweet tea or a cigar to watch the fireworks in their front yard. Yeah, guys, that might have been. The city of Charleston would withstand siege from Yankee forces for 588 days straight. Over 23,000 projectiles hit this town, which is one every 17 and a half minutes for a year and a half. It's a miracle that any house to our left-hand side is older than 1860. Over 85% are. But let's spot the ones that aren't. This one here and the one right next to it, both built in the early 1900s. Not because the original homes were destroyed by Yankee cannon fire. In 1893, a hurricane as bad as Hugo picked up a 3-masted schooner out of the harbor and decided to moor it right here in the middle of 2 houses, which were completely obliterated. The replacement homes came in the 1920s. This one has been said it took the cast and crew of The Wizard of Oz over a year to build, but both of these guys quite young. This one is currently for sale for $6.2 million if you're interested in living out here on the Battery. There are only 2 houses on this street to choose from. That one and one we're going to see about 5 more doors up the street.
It's a house museum.
What's that?
You said it's a house museum?
It's a privately owned house museum, which means they're open about 10 to 4 every day. They have about 60% of the original furniture inside, so if you really want to see a house that looks original on the inside, that's probably the best one to go to. I really attacked these oleanders today, looks like.